pretty good as it turns out. Hi everyone, VortexTCG here, and today I'm going to be showcasing you a brand new, well, kind of brand new set of cards that have just been released with BT14, and that is the Training Boosts. Training Boosts are going to be very important if you're a competitive player going into BT14 and onwards, and today I'm going to be explaining what makes them so powerful, how to get them, so let's get straight into it. So how do you get these training cards in the first place? Well, all you need to do essentially is buy a box of BT14. There's a lot of promotions going on with BT14 at the moment, and one of them is the training boosts. In fact, if you were to buy one box of BT14 Blast Ace, you get one of each included within your box. Now, these option cards are very valuable for competitive players, but also casual play as well. So you wouldn't be surprised that if you want to buy one of each of these off a secondary market, such as TCG Player or Card Market, it's going to run you €20 for one of each. However, if you were to buy a box, obviously, of BT14, well, you're going to get them a lot more cheaper because the box itself usually costs around £75 in the UK anyways. And as the training costs around 20 for the playset, you're making quite a bit of money back on your booster box purchase. So now that I've talked about how to access these cards and where to get them, let's talk about the reasons why these cards are good in the first place. So the first thing you're going to notice is that this only costs 2. This is actually quite important because the previous memory boosts cost 3, meaning that playing the training cards are a lot more cheaper. The one memory actually does matter quite a bit, in fact, and it actually pays out in the long run as well. Training cards' main effect allows you to look at the top 2 cards of your deck and then add one card of that color. This can be a Digimon, but also an option and a Tamer card. This means it has more utility when it comes against the memory boost that we already have, because the memory boosts only add Digimon. However, for the training cards, you can add anything of that color. The training cards also have a delay effect, and the delay effect is also very, very strong as well. Not only are you able to search with this card, but for the delay effect, if you Digivolve into another Digimon, you can reduce that cost by 2. So for example, if you go into a level 5 and that costs 3, if you use the training boost, you're then able to reduce it by additional 2, only making it 1. This is really good for stack building, and a lot of the decks that are in the format in BT14 really do take advantage of this. Not to mention that there's one for every color, except for white. Sorry, white. This just means that there's a whole bunch of consistency boosts for every deck in the game, other than Eosmon and other white decks. I'm sorry. So are these cards going to be competitive? Are these going to be staying in the format? Well, if you look at current lists in the game, you're going to notice that a lot of these decks are running the training cards because, let's face it, consistency and reducing costs really does help a lot of decks, especially some of them that have come out of BT14, mainly Fenrir Lugomon. For example, if training boosts didn't exist in the card game, you'd be able to search stuff like the Lugomon, which is very important to the Fenrir Lugomon strategy. However, you would never be able to search the EG, and the EG is a very pivotal part of the combo as well, because it combos with the Fenrir Lugomon itself. But now we have the training cards, we're able to add either one of them, so that just means our consistency goes up as a whole, even though we're searching less cards. This is huge for decks like Fenrir because now they have more options and more ways to find the cards they need to go off and do their massive big turn. On a similar note, older strategies got a boost as well. Decks like All Force Vidramon got a little bit of support coming into BT14. But now with the training option, they can now search Renas, and Rena is the key card to that strategy. So not only is it helping current decks, new decks in BT14, but it's reviving older decks that could be played in BT14 as well. And because of that reason, they pretty much overtake memory boosts as a whole. In fact, a lot of decks have completely dropped memory boosts and only put 4 of their training cards in. And for that reason, you're going to be seeing them a lot in your competitive play or just casual play as a whole. These cards aren't going anywhere until we get another replacement which does something even better than the previous one. Now, while I have been saying a lot about the training cards, memory boosts still do exist in this format and in the Japanese format. Japanese players are currently actually using it in Fenrir Lugomon to find their specific key pieces. But we're also seeing it in the English format as well, where we see people using it in stuff like Mirage Gao to find their pieces such as the Burst Mode and the Level 6. This just goes to show that both cards can be used in the same deck, but overall the training cards do have an edge when it comes to the deck building process. So what are my thoughts on these training cards? Well, they're just better than memory boosts as a whole. They might search a lesser card pool in 2 compared to the 4 of the memory boost, but it does a lot more in regards to power. You're able to add Digimon, Tamers, and option cards. You're able to reduce the cards when you go into a Digievolution, and for that reason, these cards are definitely not going anywhere. But what do you think about the training cards? Do you think that they're balanced? Do you think that they're broken? Are you going to be playing them in all your decks? Let me know in the comments section down below. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.